What's going on? Sulliaker here, and I'm going to let this is a public service announcement take over.
This is a public service on YouTube.
This is a public service.
This is a public service.
And that cleared up as soon as you...
What's going on?
What's up, man? How you doing? Hey, you mind if I check the temp on your car before you go?
Let's just get this out of the
You
way.
got no hide, do you?
All right.
I'm just fucking with you, bro.
No, you're good. Like we talked about on the phone.
Yep.
Stacy, Kurtz Lopez is the one that filed this.
Sure.
Okay. It's a fairly large packet, so
Jesus.
after I leave, you can take a peruse of it. It's
Yep.
yours. You're gonna have a court date highlighted for you. It's gonna be
8/20?
August 20th,
Yeah.
9 a.m. It's gonna be at the Henderson Judicial Center,
Sure.
125 East Orange Avenue.
Yep.
And it's gonna be courtroom 11.
Yeah.
I believe it's on the 3rd floor.
For protection against domestic and sexual violence, stalking?
Well, it kind of goes through all this stuff.
Oh, stalking.
It's gonna be on, the stalking is the one.
Now, I'm not going to say much about anything, but if you see up here, and if you want to look into this, you're more than welcome.
It's gonna be on, the stalking is the one.
Man.
You'll probably get a better idea once you read through it of where she came up with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can just...
And the name of this channel is called Volusia Exposed. You're probably seeing it up here in somewhere over here. Links will be in the description, and he's the one that put out this video about James Madison. So go give him a sub. He's almost up to 1,000 subscribers. Get into his comment section, let him know the Armed Fisherman sent you, and make sure you give him a sub because he's the one that actually produced this video. But we're about to hop into this juicy stuff. So let's go.
573 out of 10. Stacy Lopez. And you're Ms. Lopez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And ma'am, are you still seeking an injunction?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I could get you both to raise your right hands. You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Yes. Your Honor, my name is Stacy Lopez. I work for the South Daytona Police Department. I'm the records custodian and assistant to the chief records supervisor there. So it's a professional relationship.
Okay. So you've encountered or responded in your work capacity?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And if you would just explain why you believe an injunction for protection is necessary.
Should I come up here or should I stand here? Stay here? Okay.
Wherever you can come to the podium.
So, Your Honor, my name is Stacy Lopez. I am requesting a permanent injunction for protection against stalking pursuant to Florida Statute 784.0485. I am a records supervisor, assistant to the chief of South Daytona Police Department, and a public service employee. The respondent, the self-identified First Amendment auditor.
Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yes.
My First Amendment auditor, who has repeatedly targeted me in a manner that has caused me substantial emotional distress and has put me in fear of my own safety and disrupting my ability to perform my essential job function. While I fully respect and understand the rights granted under the First Amendment, the respondent's conduct goes far beyond lawful activity. This is not about simple recording or holding the government accountable. This is about a pattern of willful, malicious, and repeated harassment. It is attempting to protect behaviors under the guise of First Amendment auditor rights, all the while just harassing me as a public service employee. Especially when I don't do things the way he wants them done. If I don't fulfill the request the way he thinks they should be completed, this behavior escalates to frustration and throwing fits or tantrums in an effort to force or intimidate me into fulfilling those requests. There have been several separate incidents where the respondent has come to my place of work, recording me without consent, following me around the facility, making inflammatory or degrading statements, and in some cases, posting these interactions online.
So welcome to YouTube. Yeah, I said welcome to YouTube.
Captions or commentary intended to provoke public harassment. I have evidence that the respondent returned multiple times, even after I've requested to stop the video or not be recorded, and after law enforcement has been contacted. This behavior is not productive behavior for the valid purpose of First Amendment auditing. This has become personal attacks on me and other employees. Behaviors such as making statements that I know where you live, and I know where your husband works, and standing outside the PD holding up signs that say, "Fuck Pignataro, the cover-up king," are not The terror, the cover-up king, are not First Amendment auditor rights. They are personal attacks on public service employees.
Ma'am, who are you to dictate what First Amendment auditor rights are? We have the right to document our public officials in the course of their duties. Smith v. City of Cumming. I'm surprised this got this far. And like I said, right up here, if you want to look at it, you're more than welcome.
The conduct has served no legitimate purpose as defined in Florida Statute 784.048. The respondent is not engaged in journalism or civil discourse. He is using the label of First Amendment auditor as a shield for behavior that is clearly intended to intimidate and provoke. I have experienced anxiety, fear, and disruption to my work and personal life as a direct result of these interactions. In my view, this conduct fits the legal definition of stalking and harassment under Florida law. The repeated, targeted nature of the respondent's behavior toward me is not protected speech. It is a personal campaign of intimidation, not a public accountability effort.
You serious?
Your Honor, I am most fearful that if this injunction does not stay in place, the continued abuse and harassment will further escalate. We can clearly see how he behaves without the potential for an injunction being imposed. Could you imagine how he will behave if the injunction does not get put into place? Especially because he has been served, there will be the immediate escalation of threats, intimidation, and defamation in an attempt to make him feel and look better as a result of the embarrassment he may be experiencing due to his own actions. For these reasons, I respectfully ask the court to grant the injunction and help restore a sense of safety and normalcy in my life, my family, and my workplace. I am seeking protection from my current and any future place of employment, protection from my husband's place of employment, and protection from my home and my children's school and extracurricular activities. Thank you.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, I'm out.
As Ms. Lopez has indicated, my client is essentially an investigative journalist. He has a YouTube channel with approximately 400,000 subscribers.
Baller, shot caller, 20-inch blades on an Impala.
What he does and his goal and purpose is basically through usually obtaining public records and other sources. He will investigate matters of malfeasance related mainly to law enforcement or other governmental agencies. The context of this injunction is simply this. When this goes to South Daytona Police Department to engage in public record requests, Ms. Lopez has been the one who is responsible for basically gathering those requests. As this has progressed over the years, what has happened is clearly there have been a number of personality conflicts between the two. Now, there are a lot of allegations that Ms. Lopez referenced regarding threatening behavior, and we don't agree to any of that, obviously. We have witnesses, I think, that would contradict some of that testimony. However, the crux of this, again, is Mark is going to the South Daytona Police Department to engage in a protected and legal duty, which is to obtain public records. He doesn't care if Ms. Lopez is there or not. He is simply going there to engage, again, in the role that he has permission to engage in. However, Ms. Lopez, I think you'll see through testimony, has often inserted herself into the process. As somebody who says they're in fear and needs an injunction and all these other things, we have videos because essentially everything Mr. Dickinson does is on video because it ultimately ends up as part of perhaps the YouTube channel and that audience. We have videos of her coming out, engaging with Mr. Dickinson, antagonizing him. Antagonizing him, her superiors saying, hey, Stacy, go ahead, go back. She persists. So what we really have here, Judge, is a person who is engaging in legitimate purposes, legitimate business. However, a personality conflict has been created between these two. Prior to this hearing this morning, there have already been remedial steps taken. In fact, there is evidence. We have an email from 2003 in which emails the chief of South Daytona and says, I don't want to deal with Ms. Lopez anymore. Give me a different way. That basically falls on deaf ears, obviously, as this continues over this period of years. However, even as recent as 2 weeks ago, after this happens, again says, is there a way to conduct the business I want to conduct without Ms. Lopez being involved? Again, This is a personality conflict. There's no stalking here because there's a legitimate purpose in obtaining records. I've spoken to Ms. Lopez at length this morning. I was on the way to drop my daughter off at school, and I think she and I talked for approximately 30 minutes to see if we could perhaps find a path, resolve this without this mess taking place. I mean, candidly, Judge, I think we were pretty close, in terms of, I've told my client, look, everybody can tone the rhetoric down. Perhaps we don't need the cursing or the cuss words or anything. Again, I don't think that's stalking, but we can treat people with more respect, perhaps, than has been indicated in the past by both sides. There were concerns about her family. I don't even think Mr. Dickinson knew where her husband worked until we looked over Ms. Lopez's agreement that she handed me in mornings. There's really been nothing about her family. Again, this is when he goes to South Daytona to conduct his business. If he was able to conduct that business with anybody but Ms. Lopez, we wouldn't be standing here. However, it seems nobody has wanted to put a plan in place that would facilitate that so that both sides can move on without the need of obviously being in court litigating like this.
And as you're hearing this is truly wild. A public official, whoever they are, it doesn't matter who they are, if they work for the government, they are scrutinized, whether it's whoever it is. It doesn't matter who it is. Public officials will be scrutinized if they are doing the wrong thing or they get caught in lies or whatever. And this is what's happening. Because of Mr. James Madison, you've probably seen his link up here. Because of James Madison's persistence and his him being a journalist, because of the things that he does, this person is going after him for harassment and this, that, and the third. Same thing. Because if you're seeing it up here, yeah, same thing. But figure it out for yourself.
So it's our position, Judge, again, that there is a legitimate purpose. This isn't some campaign against Ms. Lopez where he's trying to argue with her, cause her grief, all these other things. She is in the role that is necessary for him when he conducts his business to get these records. And that's really what this is about. This is about, more hurt feelings, nastiness, things of that nature, but it's not some direct targeted attack. A lot of the emails in the petition, Judge, as I'm sure the court has reviewed, they're not even directed at Ms. Lopez. She's not even the recipient, which would be required, obviously, for stalking, and we get the legality of it later. But that's really what this is. Mr. Dickinson's trying to obtain public records. Her role is to provide him. There's been a breakdown in communication. As such, some unpleasantries have been born out of that. But as far as stalking, Mr. Dickinson can go to the police department later today, and if she's not there, great. It doesn't change anything regarding what his intentions are and what the nature of his work is. These two don't get along, but not getting along or being uncivil to one another is not what stalking requires. So that's our position.
So the specific behaviors that we're referencing are emails that are directly sent to me. The emails, they are not only sent to me, they're sent to other people as well. And I did include those in, and you may have seen some of those emails. I'm not sure if you have. But some of the emails that were directly to me are the ones that tell me, I will get to those. I would like to say one other thing also. Yes, he did send an email in 2023 stating that he did no longer wish to deal with me. That is a fact. But he continued his behavior, even violating his own request to not have behavior, continued conversation and communication with me. I'm the records custodian. I'm the one that releases the records with the city or with the South Daytona Police Department. And so for him to request to not have any communication, but yet to continue to do so in the way that he did, violates his own request.
You can't make this shit up. You honestly can't make this shit up. This woman doesn't even hear the words that are coming out of her mouth.
for.
Let me ask you this, is there anyone else at the police department that can respond specifically?
Yes, and we put that in place. So since I filed the injunction, that is correct. He sent an email saying that he needs to be able to communicate with somebody. No problem. It's exactly the same email that I told him to send the email to in the past, and he absolutely refused to. In fact, he told me, you don't get to tell me, you don't tell me where the fuck to send it, I send it. Pardon my language, and I'm sorry. But the emails that I get from him are ones that, tell me to go fuck myself. They tell me,
You can say that.
I'm sorry, I know, I just want to be as truthful as possible, because I'm not here to make or exaggerate anything that's not the truth. The truth is that this is the behavior that he's exhibited even in the last 2 years beyond the 2023 email that he sent. And he says, the bitch up front is there to do her job. And here's the thing, sends a screenshot of the court cases, but doesn't send that they've been obviously dismissed. So it's clear that the intent here is to damage my character, harass me, cause great harm to me, because I could potentially get in trouble, lose my job. Even though I told my HR director what was happening, there's nothing in policy and procedure that says you can't have a bad credit card. It was a bad time in our life. They've been taken care of. They've been paid. He also asked for my previous asked for my memos where I've requested, where I request for approval to seek outside employment. I have outside employment. How do you know that? How do you know I have outside employment? Because you've obviously done your research, and you're stalking and seeing what else can I try to get this person on? How else can I go after her real estate business? How else can I go after her consulting business? Whatever it may be, why are you asking for, when I used to teach at Rebuttal, why are you asking for my proofs of employment for 23, 24, and 25?
The reason why is because we want to know. You're not saying, hey, everybody, look at all this information. Because we start with just a little bit of information, and then all of a sudden it turns into this. And the reason why you're so upset about it is because guess what? Mr. James Madison Audits exposed you, and now you're mad. That's the whole premise of this. For anybody that's ever been exposed on YouTube, the reason is because you don't like it.
Clearly, those have been able to put me into a better financial situation and take care of those few little things. And I clearly explained to him, I didn't explain to him why those things took place, why those credit cards were the way that they were, and explained to him that my husband was injured in the use of force at his place of employment, couldn't get cleared to go return back. So guess what? I had to do what I had to do. It was my mortgage or my credit card. What are we paying here? And I clearly explained to him, I didn't explain to him why those things took place, why those credit cards were the way that they were, and explained to him that my husband was injured in the use of force at his place of employment, couldn't get cleared to go return back. So guess what? I had to do what I had to do. It was my mortgage or my credit card. What are we paying here?
I'm going to play that back. This woman, I allegedly, I don't know, I'm just playing her words back. Listen to her words. I guess she was using credit cards to pay her mortgage, or she was using government funds, and because James Madison was exposing this is why she's saying this is harassment or stalking, because he exposed the truth. He was about to
And I clearly explained to him, I didn't explain to him why those things took place, why those credit cards were the way that they were, and explained to him that my husband was injured in the use of force at his place of employment, couldn't get cleared to go return back. So guess what? I had to do what I had to do. It was my mortgage or my credit card. What are we paying here? He wrote, I think he says, I can't remember now because I'm a member. But anyways, it just makes a smart comment back about how I worded the email. There's no trickery. That's the facts. So at what point does it stop? And at what point does it escalate? Where does this behavior end as a personal campaign and attack against me as a public service employee? I have never once denied a single record. He just doesn't like that I make him pay for it. Per Florida statute, by the way. So it's not that I'm and I've given him free stuff too. So it's not about that. It's about your personal attack to me, because otherwise, why are you sending my whole credit? It's 4 or 5 little credit cards. You're sending them to everybody, the city mayor, the city manager, the city clerk. For what? Tell me, what good purpose does that serve? Because I have a pathetic $3,000 or $5,000 city credit card? That's worth my entire career. I'm 50 years old. I've been in law enforcement my entire career. I was a misdemeanor probation officer at 18 years old. You think I'm going to throw my whole career over a $3,000 credit card? So tell me, what was that point? What good purpose does that serve other than harassing?
And make sure you go over to This Is a Public Service. Links are in the description down below. And Volusia Exposed. Links are in the description. Obviously, James Madison as well. I just wanted to get this video out to you as soon as possible, because when you go to Volusia Exposed and actually watch the entire thing, there's more to this. So go over to his channel, watch the video, leave a comment in his video and let him know the Armed Fisherman sent you, and I'm out. Don't forget, hit that like, share, and that subscribe button. Soliaker. Deuces.